What is up, everybody? All my YouTube people, hello. Welcome. Today we are going to be talking about fresh water. That is what's up. That is today's subject. You showered with it. You drink it. It's 70% of you. And that is what we're going to be seeing today. I wonder what's going to be, we're going to talk about. All right. Because there's so much more that we're going to talk about. Let me tell you, I'm excited about this subject. All right. There's a lot of controversy with it, with bottled water, with companies going after each other and stuff. It is going to be wild. I'm curious, students, on what we will discover, on what is going to be happening today. Look at this. Look at this. See, this is what happens, students. See, look at that. I am recording and I am not using all my CPU like last time. You just missed it, actually. Y'all missed something crazy on, what was it? Previously, because we have a little bit of a pre-show when I'm trying to set things up, or if I mess up, I can just re-record this and you'll never know. That's why it's always fun to check out the live and things. As you can see down below, right there. All right, we're going to try to hit a goal here, okay? Try to hit that affiliate status, maybe, how about we earn a little bit of cash while we're doing it, all right? We're already living in a capitalist society. Might as well make them dollars, baby. All right, and hey, if we haven't hit it yet, okay, we're at like 96 subscribers the last time I saw it. How about we make that a nice, cool 100? All right? All I'm asking is a small loan of 100 subs. That's all I'm asking. All right. But hey, let's go ahead and go right into today's subject, which will be the internet. The internet. We're going to use the internet to talk about fresh water. All right. And of course, as you can see, first of all, I was about to say, totally forgot. Hope you like the new setup, huh? Created by yours truly. Yeah. But no, I hope you like it. It's pretty interesting. I like it a lot. Let's go ahead and get right to it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. We only got 2 hours to discover this subject. Okay. So, fresh water. We do a lot of things with it. All right. Now, what is the problem that I would like to solve? First, why is everyone so thirsty? No, I'm kidding. No. It's there's not enough of it. There is not enough of it. There's not enough of it. Everyone is thirsty. And can we replace it? Can we replace it? I think we could. I honestly think we could. I think there's plenty of things within water, like fresh water specifically. Again, I'm not talking about the nasty ass salt water and stuff like fish pee and stuff like that. No. I'm talking about where normal fish pee. Right. But no, I think like, because I understand that like 70% of it is needed, but like besides like the vitamins, why do we need water? Like these are like the essential questions I really want to know is like, why do we need water? And can we replace that consumption with something else? You know what I'm talking about? Like, can we be eco-friendly to water? Maybe. I think we could. Because like, there's already so many things that we could bootleg our way to having, just healthier bodies and healthier living. Of course, there's some natural processes, whether it be just like through yoga or meditation and more spiritual things. And of course, I think that's a whole different meaning to it. But I think like with water, I think that's where something I think we can move past. Because I think, what was it? Like when they use HIV to like, not HIV. When they use HIV, you know how they use HIV? No, the IV. When they use the IV in there, like what are they putting in there? Saying fluids? So what are they putting water in you? No. Like so what are in IVs? Can we just use IVs? Because it has minerals and stuff like that. We can give those to people? Or is it too expensive? Like this is what I'm talking about. Like why what is it that makes water so important? And can we replace it to help people? And if not, then how do we make sure everyone have it? So let's go ahead. No, let's go ahead and dive into the general topic of water. All right. So, of course, you know we got our boy Brian. Brian here to go ahead and get right to it. Go ahead, Brian.
From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. Fresh water or freshwater is any naturally occurring liquid solid water containing low concentrations of dissolved salts and other total dissolved solids. Although the term specifically excludes seawater and brackish water, it does include non-salty mineral-rich waters such as chalybeate springs. Fresh water may encompass frozen and melt water in ice sheets, ice caps, glaciers, snowfields and icebergs. Natural precipitations such as rainfall, snowfall, hail, sleet and graupel, and surface runoffs that form inland bodies of water such as wetlands, ponds, lakes, rivers, streams, as well as groundwater contained in aquifers, subterranean rivers and lakes. Water is critical to the survival of all living organisms. Many organisms can thrive on salt water, but the great majority of higher plants and most insects, amphibians, reptiles, mammals and birds need fresh water to survive. Fresh water is not always potable water, that is, water safe to drink by humans. Much of the Earth's fresh water, on the surface and groundwater, is to a substantial degree unsuitable for human consumption without some treatment. Fresh water can easily become polluted by human activities or due to naturally occurring processes, such as erosion. Fresh water is a renewable and variable, but finite natural resource. Fresh water can only be replenished through the process of the water cycle, in which water from seas, lakes, forests, land, rivers and reservoirs evaporates, forms clouds, and returns back inland as precipitation. Locally, however, if more fresh water is consumed through human activities than is naturally restored, this may result in reduced freshwater availability, or water scarcity, from surface and underground sources and can cause serious damage to surrounding and associated environments. Water pollution and subsequent eutrophication also reduces the availability of fresh water. Definitions. Numerical definition. Fresh water can be defined as water with less than 500 parts per million, ppm, of dissolved salts. Other sources give higher upper salinity limits for fresh water, e.g. 1000 parts per million or 3000 parts per million.
Okay. And it's 100 parts per million. Oh, like parts of salt, right? Is that what they mean? Parts per million of dissolved salt, of dissolved salts. Okay. Briny water. Parts per thousand? Is that PPT? What's PPT? Water salinity. Red Sea, Mediterranean, Black Sea, Baltic Sea. Drinking water. Okay. Wow. That's actually like, there's like not much there. Damn. Okay. So we really have to like make sure it's have. And so like through evaporation, of course, that's how we have fresh water, of course, like the freshwater cycle is finite. Water pollution. And see, that's the thing too. So like, I guess like how much like, I guess like the water molecules get used up. Because I'm just trying to think of like the whole cycle of water, right? It's like if we consume it and our body uses it, but then like we go through evaporation and stuff like that. Are the human bodies just toxic? Like once we go into the ground and like that's it, or is it more complicated? Like I'm trying to see like the recyclability of water and stuff. But okay, let's get into the systems. Habits classified are either. Oh, so it's like lake ecosystem. Okay. Okay.
Systems. Yeah. Freshwater habitats are classified as either lentic systems, which are the still waters including ponds, lakes, swamps and mires, lotic which are running water systems, or groundwaters which flow in rocks and aquifers. There is, in addition, a zone which bridges between groundwater and lotic systems, which is the hyporheic zone, which underlies many larger rivers and can contain substantially more water than is seen in the open channel. It may also be in direct contact with the underlying underground water sources. Main articles, water cycle and water resources. The original source of almost all fresh water is precipitation from the atmosphere, in the form of mist, rain and snow. Fresh water falling as mist, rain or snow contains materials dissolved from the atmosphere and material from the sea and land over which the rain-bearing clouds have traveled. The precipitation leads eventually to the formation of water bodies that humans can use as sources of fresh water, ponds, lakes, rainfall, rivers, streams, and groundwater contained in underground aquifers. In coastal areas, fresh water may contain significant concentrations of salts derived from the sea if windy conditions have lifted drops of seawater into the rain-bearing clouds. This can give rise to elevated concentrations of sodium, chloride, magnesium and sulfate as well as many other compounds in smaller concentrations. In desert areas, or areas with impoverished or dusty soils, rain-bearing winds can pick up sand and dust and this can be deposited elsewhere in precipitation and causing the freshwater flow to be measurably contaminated both by insoluble solids but also by the soluble components of those soils. Significant quantities of iron may be transported in this way, including the well-documented transfer of iron-rich rainfall in desert areas, or areas with impoverished.
Sorry,
In
hold on. I
coastal
gotta
areas,
restart that
fresh
part.
water may contain significant concentrations of salts derived from the sea if windy conditions have lifted drops of seawater into the rain-bearing clouds. This can give rise to elevated concentrations of sodium, chloride, magnesium and sulfate as well as many other compounds in smaller concentrations. In desert areas, or areas with impoverished or dusty soils, rain-bearing winds can pick up sand and dust and this can be deposited elsewhere in precipitation and causing the freshwater flow to be measurably contaminated both by insoluble solids but also by the soluble components of those soils. Significant quantities of iron may be transported in this way, including the well-documented transfer of iron-rich rainfall falling in Brazil derived from sandstorms in the Sahara in North Africa. Water
Damn.
distribution. Main article, water distribution on Earth. Saline water in oceans, seas and saline groundwater make up about 97% of all the water on Earth. Only 2.75% is fresh water, including 1.2% frozen in glaciers, ice and snow, 0.75% as fresh groundwater and soil moisture, and less than 0.01% of it as surface water in lakes, swamps and rivers.
Damn, there's not even that much water. They're telling me like only 2.5 to 2.75% is fresh water, including 2% of that being frozen in glaciers, ice and snow, as fresh groundwater and soil moisture less than 0.01% of it as surface water in lakes and swamps. And then like how much water are we using to actually like for bottled water and shit and like for holy shit. Oh, is this it? Oh my god. Oh my god. Can I please get like a better a closer up picture? Can we zoom in this bitch? I mean, damn. Yeah, sure. Fuck it. About to throw it up on the Word doc. Hell yeah. So I can like finally see this bad boy. So okay. So they're telling us ocean, seas, and bays 96%. That's like not. That's all of it. That's all of it. Saline lakes. Saline lake. So that okay. So all of that is just non-drinkable water. Like you're done. You're done. So okay. And then what was it? We got like this little bit of like area right here. What is that? Saline groundwater. So okay. Again, all of that is already undrinkable. Fucking ice caps and like, all right, cool. If you're going to Antarctica to fucking with a blowtorch and stuff, I mean, we're kind of already doing that. So you know what? Maybe we could boost that up 1%. Just saying. Get some water from there. Biological water. Oh, so we can like say that's a humans. Oh, wonderful. Fresh groundwater. That delicious. Not even 1%. Not even 1%. This is like looking at like Dogecoin and like hoping that shit goes up to at least a single percent. Holy shit. Ground ice permafrost. Okay, so that's Arctic stuff. That's Arctic stuff. No. Permafrost. That's like in the ground. That's dirty ice. Oh, cool. The atmosphere is taking a little bit of a chip. Swamp water. That's probably like all of Florida. And then rivers. So like this section. No, not even that. I think like this section here. Out of this whole section, that is what we're drinking with. That is what we're dealing with. And biological water. I guess that's us. Cool. Holy shit. We ain't got shit. We're broke. Oh my gosh. Water distribution. We ain't got shit, people. All right. Okay, let's continue this.
Freshwater lakes contain about 87% of this fresh surface water, including 29% in the African Great Lakes, 22% in Lake Baikal in Russia, 21% in the North American Great Lakes, and 14% in other lakes. Swamps have most of the balance with only a small amount in rivers, most notably the Amazon River. The atmosphere contains 0.04% water. In areas with no fresh water on the ground surface, fresh water derived from precipitation may, because of its lower density, overly saline groundwater in lenses or layers. Most of the world's fresh water is frozen in ice sheets. Many areas have very little fresh water, such as deserts. Freshwater ecosystems. Freshwater ecosystem. Freshwater ecosystems are a subset of Earth's aquatic ecosystems. They include lakes, ponds, rivers, streams, springs, bogs, and wetlands. They can be contrasted with marine ecosystems, which have a larger salt content. Freshwater habitats can be classified by different factors, including temperature, light penetration, nutrients, and vegetation. There are three basic types of freshwater ecosystems: lentic, slow-moving water, including pools, ponds, and lakes; lotic, faster-moving water. For example, streams and rivers, and wetlands, areas where the soil is saturated or inundated for at least part of the time. Freshwater ecosystems contain 41% of the world's known fish species, cholera, sewage, macroinvertebrates, macrophytes, biodiversity, overexploitation. Water.
Can we? The fuck was that, Brian? Did you drink some of the bad water? What the hell happened to there, bud? Hold up. Oh my gosh. Let me help you out here, bud.
Freshwater ecosystems have undergone substantial transformations over time, which has impacted various characteristics of the ecosystems. 12. Original attempts to understand and monitor freshwater ecosystems were spurred on by threats to human health, for example, cholera, outbreaks due to sewage contamination. 13. Early monitoring focused on chemical indicators, then bacteria, and finally algae, fungi and protozoa. A new type of monitoring involves quantifying differing groups of organisms, macroinvertebrates, macrophytes, and fish, and measuring the stream conditions associated with them. 14. Threats to freshwater biodiversity include overexploitation, water pollution, flow modification, destruction or degradation of habitat, and invasion by exotic species.
Oh shit. Okay, we're gonna take that bit and we're gonna throw that into, let's see, what have others done to cause it? Because that might be something that like can help us with the research here on like what like threatens. Oh, so it threats freshwater biodiversity into that. Okay, hold up. Let me just. There we go. No, we just don't want the hyperlink. Thank you. Thank you, sir. All right, cool. Back to what we were doing. Ooh, threats and challenges. Threats and challenges.
Exotic species. 15.
Oh my.
Threats and challenges. Main article, Water Resources Challenges and Threats. The increase in the world population and the increase in per capita water use puts increasing strains on the finite resources availability of clean fresh water.
Right.
The response by freshwater ecosystems to a changing climate can be described in terms of three interrelated components: water quality, water quantity or volume, and water timing. A change in one often leads to shifts in the others as well. Limited resource. It has been suggested that economic water scarcity be merged into this article. Discuss. Water scarcity, closely related with water stress or water crisis, is the lack of fresh water resources to meet the standard water demand. Humanity is facing a water crisis, due to unequal distribution, exacerbated by climate change, resulting in some very wet and some very dry geographic locations, plus a sharp rise in global freshwater demand in recent decades. Water scarcity can also be caused by droughts, lack of rainfall, or pollution. This was listed in 2019 by the World Economic Forum as one of the largest global risks in terms of potential impact over the next decade. It is manifested by partial or no satisfaction of expressed demand, economic competition for water quantity or quality, disputes between users, irreversible depletion of groundwater, and negative impacts on the environment. 2/3 of the global population, 4 billion people, live under conditions of severe water scarcity at least 1 month of the year. 500 million
my
people in the
God.
world face severe water scarcity all year round. Half of the world's largest cities experience water scarcity. Increasing world population, living standards, consumption patterns.
What the fuck? Brian.
The essence of global water scarcity is the geographic and temporal mismatch between freshwater demand and availability. 21, 22. The main driving forces for the rising global demand for water are increasing world population, improving living standards, changing consumption patterns, and expansion of irrigated agriculture. 23, 24. Climate change, such as altered weather patterns, including droughts or floods, deforestation, increased pollution, greenhouse gases, and wasteful use of water can cause insufficient supply. 25. At the global level and on an annual basis, enough fresh water is available to meet such demand, but spatial and temporal variations of water demand and availability are large, leading to physical water scarcity in several parts of the world during specific times of the year. 19. Scarcity varies over time as a result of natural, hydrological variability, but varies even more so as a function of prevailing economic policy, planning and management approaches. Scarcity can be expected to intensify with most forms of economic development, but, if correctly identified, many of its causes can be predicted, avoided or mitigated. 18. Minimum stream flow. An important concern for hydrological ecosystems is securing minimum stream flow, especially preserving and restoring in-stream water allocations. Fresh water is an important natural resource necessary for the survival of all ecosystems. The use of water by humans for activities such as irrigation and industrial applications can have adverse impacts on downstream ecosystems. Freshwater withdrawal is the quantity of water removed from available sources for use in any purpose, excluding evaporation losses. Water drawn off is not necessarily entirely consumed and some portion may be returned for further use downstream.
Okay. Stream flow. Yeah. What is stream flow or channel runoff? Is the flow of water in streams, rivers. Is the stream flow or channel runoff is the flow of water in streams, rivers, and other channels, and is a major element of the water cycle. It is one component of the runoff of water from the land to water bodies. Oh, so we're not allowing the stream to run off. Okay. Disrupts. Calm down. I am teaching. We're learning about water scarcity here, man. You horny for that? You need to be horny for knowledge. Let us see here. Water pop. Which is crazy. It's fucked up that like there's so many other things, like including with climate change, that are that do cause the scarcity of water. But the increase like world population, like we can let's see here. And what does it say? Like the main driving force for the rise in global demand of water are, of course, yes, more people want it. You have improving living standards which need it, and then changing consumption patterns. Oh, like more people are aiding, right? Emerge consumer behavior. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then irrigated agriculture. Irrigated is an artificial process applying controlled amounts of water and land to assist the production of crops. Okay. has altered weather patterns. Okay, yeah, which would lead to less water. The essence of global water scarcity is the geographical temperature mismatch between freshwater demand and availability. So all of these things have been like the availability has been affected because of the world population growing and living standards, consumption patterns, and the demand. Oh no, sorry. The demand has been increased and the availability has been scarce. Got you. And I'm sorry, what the fuck did it say? 2/3 of the global population, 4 billion people, live under a condition of severe scarcity at least once a month. Or no, 1 month of the year. 500 million people in the world face severe water scarcity all year around. Fuck. And then half of the world's largest cities experience water scarcity. That's fucked up. That's real fucked up. Like, I know that we have like a hunger issue, especially in America, where like Walmart's throwing away shit because they're like a day off the expiration, but like they're actually perfectly fine foods and they can get away and they can get rid of them away and stuff like that. And in my head too, I genuinely thought like, oh, they don't want to be sued if someone eats it. Just like, motherfucker, people are dying because you're throwing away. You should be sued for honestly cruel and unusual punishment because you're not giving these to people. You have honestly, Walmart has killed people. I'm going to go ahead and say that capitalism has killed people. And all this shit adds to it. At a global level on an annual basis, enough fresh water is available to meet such a demand. Wow. Is available. So enough fresh water is available, but spatial and temporal variations of water demand and availability are large and leading to physical water scarcity. So we could do it. We actually could. Everyone can have water. Everyone can have water. But no, we just fuck people over. And that's fucked up. And of course here, let's get more into the okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's try to finish this part up here.
Water pollution. Water pollution, or aquatic pollution, is the contamination of water bodies, usually as a result of human activities, in such a manner that negatively affects its legitimate uses. Water bodies include, for example, lakes, rivers, oceans, aquifers, reservoirs and groundwater. Water pollution results when contaminants are introduced into these water bodies. For example, releasing inadequately treated wastewater into natural waters can lead to degradation of these aquatic ecosystems. All plants and organisms living in or being exposed to polluted water bodies can be impacted. The effects can damage individual species and impact the natural biological communities they are part of. Water pollution can also lead to waterborne diseases for people using polluted water for drinking, bathing, washing or irrigation. Surface water, marine pollution, groundwater.
I love you, Brian, but you are fucking up on me.
Water pollution can be classified as surface water pollution, for example, marine pollution, or groundwater pollution. Sources of water pollution are either point sources or non-point sources. Point sources have one identifiable cause, such as a storm drain or a wastewater treatment plant. Non-point sources are more diffuse, such as agricultural runoff. 28. Pollution is the result of the cumulative effect over time. Water pollution can be classified.
Okay. We don't. Yeah, water is a critical issue for survival of all living organisms. Yeah. Humans and animals need water. No, water, but global calls for
Global Goals
conservation.
for Conservation. The Sustainable Development Goals are a collection of 17 interlinked global goals designed to be a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all.
Okay, let's go ahead and snatch up that. What have others done to try to solve it? And we're going to see what the sustainable development goals look like and see if people are actually trying to fucking fall for it. Hopefully they are. Maybe yes, maybe so, maybe not, maybe do. Well, let's go ahead and continue. Sorry.
Targets on freshwater conservation are included in SDG 6, clean water and sanitation, and SDG 15, life on land. For example, Target 6.4 is formulated as by 2030, substantially increase water use efficiency across all sectors and ensure sustainable withdrawals and supply of fresh water to address water scarcity and substantially reduce the number of people suffering from water scarcity. Another target, Target 15.1, is, by 2020, ensure the conservation, restoration and sustainable use of terrestrial and inland freshwater ecosystems and their services. In particular forests, wetlands, mountains and drylands, in line with obligations under international agreements.
International agreements. Good luck with that. But no, it is amazing. It is amazing that, like, hopefully that there is, like, they are
The
actually
Sustainable
trying to
Development
solve.
Goals are a collection of 17 interlinked global goals designed to be a Sustainable Development Goals.
Stop.
From Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. From Wikipedia.
Thank you. Cool. It's a blueprint to achieve better, more sustainable future for all people in the world by 2030. Nonprofit, global, supported by United Nations and owned by community. Oh, all right. Yeah, let's keep that. Let's keep that on the back burner here, and let's go ahead and say, okay. Who cares about this problem and why? Everyone. Why am I? Oh, fuck it. Everyone should care. Care about this problem from human, animals, but and again, like, okay, well, why should people care about this, like, water scarcity and all that? Basically, it would lead us to more water drinking based deaths, with, like, basically people, like, drinking unclean water. It could possibly raise the price of water. Like I'm talking, like, maybe mad. Talking like Mad Max style. Can I really not do the? Like, we're talking like Mad Max style here. Like OG Mad Max, like Mel Gibson Mad Max before he was saying some crazy shit to his wife. What is this? Possibly raise the price of water. Yeah, and then, like, leading into Mad Max, it causes universal problems. All right, you want fucking water. Like, it's a simple thing. All right, you want water. I don't understand, like, how people, like, what the fuck goes through your head? Like, honestly, like, is it a selfish thing? It's probably a selfish thing. You know, I recently got a nice little wake up call and stuff. How, what was it? Certain individuals, like me, basically we live in a different reality, almost to a fantasy to some people, and basically it doesn't reach that. It doesn't reach those people, and, like, when people are forced, like, when we see it, it's not a problem. It's never a problem. It's never a problem on, like, like, water or shelter or just basic needs of food, because, like, oh, we have the jobs and we've always been having the jobs and there's a problem with it. Of course people had issues. Yeah, sure. But most likely the majority of people are fine and they have drinking water. Basically anyone in the U.S. That's more like that's more like we're talking about more world issues here. So you can hit more general status onto that end. But even that, it's just like you get this individual right to it, and then people are just like, "Oh, what are you talking about? We have water." It's just like people don't want to like think big picture until like it's like one of their own. It's tribalistic, basically. Again, like going back to like maybe ancient level where we still hold like these ancient things in ancient ways, where water, shelter, food, and stuff like these things are still competitive in ways, and people just like, or they have been so much part of culture that it's just like, oh no, we'll never run out of it. What are you talking about? Like Walmart's throwing away food. I wash myself with water every day, and it's just like people live in those fantasies of just like you don't understand it. You simply don't understand. You never will. On like thinking that like, oh, how like to think that, and again, like what was it, like fucking 4 billion people. Just imagine like June. June is the month where you're just not gonna have water. Like that's what 4 billion people in the world think. Like a month. Okay, people died when a fucking new chicken sandwich came out. People died when they were quarantined. People died. Hundreds of thousands of people died because they think Bill Gates put something in a vaccine. All right, like people don't think about that shit. People don't think that there's people that die from lack of water. That's just a reality that they just don't. My neighbor, he's washing his car right now from his hose. And it's just like people don't realize that. You don't need to do that. Hey, guess what, Bob? How about this? Fuck your grass. How about that? Fuck your grass. I don't give a shit about your grass. All right? You know what I'm talking about? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about. How about you get buried in your grass, bro? How about that? Yeah. How about you drink too much water? How about that? I already did. The cat has been fed, ladies and gentlemen. But maybe that's the thing. One person who's going to be fed before me is this beautiful cat, Ollie. I'll try to get him back on here. That's going to be the daily goal. Ollie. Ollie, come here. We're going to try to get him on early for you guys, okay? Because I know I'm getting hit on a dark topic, okay? We need the nice, all right? We need the nice subject here. Okay? Don't worry. One time during the stream, I'll get him on here for you guys, okay? I got him. I actually got him one time to start meowing back at me. I think he hits a certain frequency. You have to say hi at a certain frequency, and then he hits it. You want a treat, bud? You want a treat? You want a treat for the fans? You want a treat for the kids? Mama already left. He's contemplating. Nah, it's okay. But oh, hey buddy. Hello. There you go. You got a little bit of them. All right, we'll get more of them. I'll put his treats right up here. He wants to come back to it. You do it your own time, bud. All right, you do it on your own time. I'll gaslight you later. All right, but no, just going back onto the subject. It's just like people can't get it through their fucking skulls on just how fuck it lucky. You spawn in a specific area, that's life or death. Let me touch the napkin, huh? Let me touch the napkin. He's like touching napkins and shit now. You're privileged, Ollie. You know that? You get treats all day. You get belly rubs. Okay, now he's getting freaked out. But yeah, there's a lot of things to it. But hey, there's also a lot of people who are trying to solve the issue, and that is what we're trying to do here. We're trying to learn the different things that people want to try to solve it, and like, what was it? And I want to look at all different kinds of solution here. Like, can we replace water? Like, maybe fresh water is overrated. Maybe we need an update on liquids 2.0. Water 2.0. How about that? H2O 2.0. How about we all these shows are already getting revamped. How about you bring back H2O? How about that? Hey, I like mermaids. Oh, by the way, we talked about mermaids on a previous subject. Go ahead and check that out. Well, go ahead. Let's see what people are trying to do to conserve water. Let's see what people are trying to do to replace water. Maybe it's like, maybe Gatorade is the new thing, but it's expensive. Maybe that's their whole reason why. It's like, water can be free, and so why not just let it be free? Why try to replace something that is free? I mean, fuck it. Why charge something that's free? That's the first problem. But yeah, let's see. Let's go ahead. Let's see what's up. Maybe there's someone that's actually trying to find a reusable part for water. Maybe not. I want to figure it out. So let's go ahead. Let us see. I want to fuck it. Let's just straight up Google it. All right. Like, is there a fresh water replacement? Like, I'm curious. Like, why? Like, let's see. Replace your own water main. Replace it. Use of fresh water with seawater. What is this, huh? Oh, okay. So let's see here. One Petro. What is this about? Let's see here. Unconventional Resource Technology and Conference, Houston, Texas, USA. Let's see. An application replacing the use of fresh water with seawater. Problem, solution, and application. We got here, huh? Access. I mean, like, how? Oh my god, I am human. Airplanes? Gotta find the airplanes? Fuck it. What the fuck is that? I'm human students. Airplanes. Alright, I'm just gonna go fuck myself here. Oh, we have to purchase it because that's how it goes. Alright, fine. Let's look at the abstract of what they got here. Seawater has been gaining attention as a viable alternative to freshwater in oil and gas industry. The most effective ways is to use raw seawater. However, raw seawater contains ions and microorganisms that can induce and exacerbate scaling, corrosion, bacterial problems, and most importantly, hinder desired fluid performance. Therefore, seawater is typically treated to remove adequate quantities of these components. Since treatment of seawater is increasing in popularity, and important to realize that such components are necessary to remove to achieve balance between the treatment and cost and treatment benefits. So, let's see, fixing seawater. Okay, hold up then. Let me see if I can find a back door to this. Fresh water. Replace fresh water with sea water. Humans cannot drink saline water, but saline water can be made into fresh water, for which there are many uses. The process is called desalination. It is being used more and more around the world to provide people with needed fresh water. We could drink seawater. We could drink seawater, but is that cool? What do I need fresh water? Another method. Okay, let's see what they got here. Let us see. Brian, tell us.
Desalination. Desalination. Humans cannot drink saline water, but saline water can be made into fresh water, for which there are many uses. The process is called desalination, and it is being used more and more around the world to provide people with needed fresh water. Water
Let's
science
go.
school home water use topics. Water quality topics. Thirsty? How about a cool, refreshing cup of seawater? No, don't take us literally. Humans cannot drink saline water, but saline water can be made into fresh water, which is the purpose of this portable, inflatable solar still. It even wraps up into a tiny package. The process is called desalination, and it is being used more and more around the world to provide people with needed fresh water.
Dude, look how fucking cute this little Hershey Kish of always trying to save the world by evaporating and condensing the water. Oh, I want to add like a cute little face on him. Hold up. Let me get my pen out. Oh my good golly gosh. I gotta do it. Dude, you can't tell me I can't do it. Alright, where is it? Hold up. I gotta get my pen. This is this will be worth it. Here we are. Yes. Let me get the cute pen going. Let me just look at him. Look at his cute little face. He's trying to save the world. Oh God. Hold on. Look at his cute little face. We're just gonna add a little bit and then a whoop. There we go. Oh, he's trying to save the world. He's a little bit shy. But now we love him. I'm gonna call you Bobby. That's who you are, Bobby. That's who you are. All right, sorry. Let's continue this.
The process is called desalination, and it is being used more and more around the world to provide people with needed fresh water. Most of the United States has, or can gain access to, ample supplies of fresh water for drinking purposes. But, fresh water can be in short supply in many parts of the nation and world. And, as the population continues to grow, shortages of fresh water will occur more often, if only in certain locations. In some areas, salt water, from the ocean, for instance, is being turned into fresh water for drinking. The simple hurdle that must be overcome to turn seawater into fresh water is to remove the dissolved salt in seawater. That may seem as easy as just boiling some seawater in a pan, capturing the steam and condensing it back into water, distillation. Other methods are available, but these current technological processes must be done on a large scale to be useful to large populations, and the current processes are expensive, energy intensive, and involve large-scale facilities. What makes water saline? What do we mean by saline water? Water that is saline contains significant amounts, referred to as concentrations, of dissolved salts. In this case, the concentration is the amount, by weight, of salt in water as expressed in parts per million, ppm. If water has a concentration of 10,000 parts per million of dissolved salts, then 1% of the weight of the water comes from dissolved salts. Here are our parameters for saline water. Fresh water, less than 1,000 parts per million. Slightly saline water, from 1,000 parts per million to 3,000 parts per million. Moderately saline water, from 3,000 parts per million to 10,000 parts per million. Highly saline water, from 10,000 parts per million to 35,000 parts per million.
You hear that, Jessica? That's where your personality lies. You salty? No, okay. Just had to give a little bit of shout out
By
there.
the way, ocean water. By the way, ocean.
Just freaking people out that name Jessica. Just every once in a while. Just be like that. I know you tabbed me out. You listen. All right? Don't you put me on the background. What are you doing, huh? You're in your kitchen? Using your fresh water to clean your dish? How dare you? How dare you?
By the way, ocean water contains about 35,000 parts per million of salt. A view across a reverse osmosis desalination plant in Barcelona, Spain. Credit, James Grelier. The worldwide need for fresh water. The scarcity of freshwater resources and the need for additional water supplies is already critical in many arid regions of the world and will be increasingly important in the future.
This looks like one of those like Windows 95 backgrounds with the pipes. You know, you're like chilling at the dentist's office and he leaves the computer and the screensaver turns on and those fucking like different pipes come in. You still try to like keep track of the pipes when they go back in the background.
You see them like go a little bit. I've actually seen them end at one point. It was a lot of fun. Sorry.
Many arid areas simply do not have freshwater resources in the form of surface water such as rivers and lakes. They may have only limited underground water resources, some that are becoming more brackish as extraction of water from the aquifers continues. Solar desalination evaporation is used by nature to produce rain, which is the main source of fresh water on Earth. Another method, reverse osmosis. Another way saline water is desalinized is by the reverse osmosis procedure. In most simplistic terms, water, containing dissolved salt molecules, is forced through a semi-permeable membrane, essentially a filter, in which the larger salt molecules do not get through the membrane holes but the smaller water molecules do. Reverse osmosis is an effective means to desalinate saline water, but it is more expensive than other methods. As prices come down in the future, the use of reverse osmosis plants to desalinate large amounts of saline water should become more common. Desalination is not modern science. Distillation desalination is one of mankind's earliest forms of water treatment, and it is still a popular treatment solution throughout the world today. In ancient times, many civilizations used this process on their ships to convert seawater into drinking water. Today, desalination plants are used to convert seawater to drinking water on ships and in many arid regions of the world, and to treat water in other areas that is fouled by natural and unnatural contaminants. Distillation is perhaps the one water treatment technology that most completely reduces the widest range of drinking water contaminants. In nature, this basic process is responsible for the water hydrologic cycle. The sun supplies energy that causes water to evaporate from surface sources such as lakes, oceans, and streams. The water vapor eventually comes in contact with cooler air, where it recondenses to form dew or rain. This process can be imitated artificially and more rapidly than in nature,
Classic
using alternative
condensation.
sources of heating and cooling. Your own personal desalination plant. Remember looking at the picture at the top of this page of a floating solar still? The same process that drives the device can also be applied if you find yourself in the desert in need of a drink of water. The low-tech approach to accomplish this is to construct a solar still which uses heat from the sun to run a distillation process to cause dew to form on something like plastic sheeting. The diagram to the right illustrates this. Using seawater or plant material in the body of the distiller creates humid air, which, because of the enclosure created by the plastic sheet, is warmed by the sun. The humid air condenses water droplets on the underside of the plastic sheet, and because of surface tension, the water drops stick to the sheet and move downward into a trough, from which it can be consumed. Some desalination facts. It is estimated that some 30% of the world's irrigated areas suffer from salinity problems, and remediation is seen to be very costly. According to the International Desalination Association, in June 2015, 18,426 desalination plants operated worldwide, producing 86.8 million cubic meters per day, providing water for 300 million people. This number increased from 78.4 million cubic meters in 2013, a 10.71% increase in 2 years. The most important users of desalinated water are in the Middle East, mainly Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar and Bahrain, which uses about 70% of worldwide capacity. And in North Africa, mainly Libya and Algeria, which uses about 6% of worldwide capacity. Among industrialized countries, the United States is one of the most important users of desalinated water, especially in California and parts of Florida. The cost of desalination has kept desalination from being used more often.
Oh my god. I wonder what. I wonder what among industrialized countries, the United States is one of the most important users of distillation water, especially in California and parts of Florida. I wonder why. Huh? I'm talking to you, Greg, with your green ass grass. Oh my god. I know exactly what it is. It's probably used for golf courses, like fucking Chad's fucking front lawns, so his golden retriever can take shits in it, and for I don't know, other companies' lawns to keep them going, like in wineries, maybe. Why? Like, I'm looking it up right now. Like, why the fuck is that true? Like, who? What countries is one of the most used of distillation? 6%. Like, why? Like, I want to see, like, California Ocean Distillation Plant drinking water in San Diego. County funder hopes to ease drought woes with ocean water. What? I mean, like, I get. Is it just me, or like does California already had running and drinking water? I mean, no matter what, I guess I'm not trying to be. You know what? I think I'm sounding a little bit classist just because of the fact that, like, there's not like homeless. There's not like I'm not recognizing the big homeless like civilizations that live out in Cali that probably don't have drinking water. So, all right, that's understandable. It's more or less like the U.S. just not giving the already available water to the homeless. That's already a big problem. No. You know what? No, I'm not gonna back out of that problem. U.S. doesn't need distillation water. All right, it's fucking just like we have water. We have water. Okay, like the rest of the world actually like lives out in desert. Like, wasn't there like a global warming thing where like they're actually reaching certain temperatures that just aren't livable now? Like that's what's happening. And you're telling me that like, maybe we still need water. And I get it. Yes, I'm not blaming the actual people who need water. It's the companies. That's so fucking stupid. United States. Among the industrial countries, the United States is one of the most important users of distillation waters, especially in California and parts of Florida. The cost. I guess, yeah, like what's the cost? What's the cost of distillation water? Cost of distillating water? High quality price ratio. Oh god, like I'm like on a parts store right now. Jeez. Okay. So we got something here on Mercury News. Distillated water typically costs $2,000 an acre foot, roughly the amount of water a family of 5 uses in a year. The cost is about the double of that the water obtained from a building new reservoir and recycling wastewater, according. So wait a minute, what? The nation's largest ocean distillation goes up near. Okay, I'm just gonna go fuck myself. Oh wait, is this? Okay, cool. No thanks. Okay, great. Yeah, because it's behind a fucking paywall. Because God forbid we want to actually educate people on distilling water. But no, here's a whole a whole thing about it. What's like the latest news on it? I guess. Is there more stuff about it? Water quality information by topic, water issue use information by topic. What do we got here, huh? What the fuck do we got here? Let's see, water as acid rain. Oh shit, there's like a shit ton of shit here. Learning about water quality, groundwater, water and sewage. I'm more into like the freshwater part. Okay, so yeah, no, this is just desalination. Alright. Cool. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna take this thing. We're kind of going back to the OG days, and we're actually just altering. What was it? We're just like altering, or no, we're like adding links into here and stuff. But the USGS is trying to do stuff, which that's cool. And again, this is what was it called? Desalination needed water. Desalinated water. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Now, is there other ways? Why did I have this up? No idea. Let's see. Other ways to replace fresh water consumption. Save water, save our planet. Is there a substitute for fresh water? Additional sources or alternative water should be considered to offset the use of fresh water, including capture condensate, atmospheric water generation, discharge water, water and water purification system, foundation sump, blowdown. Oh. All right, best management practice, alternative water sources. Okay, here we go. Alternative resources for high water uses. Consider water security as a main driver. Okay. Let's additional gray water, capture condensation, reclaim wastewater, harvest stormwater, harvest rainwater from roofs. What's gray water? Gray water systems are on site. Brian, sorry, I'm taking your job from you here. Let me just. Here, let's go ahead and zoom that in right in there for you. And then gray water systems. What is this?
Grey water systems, from Wikipedia. Note, you'll see grey water spelled with both an A and an E, grey water. Grey water is the common spelling in the US and grey water is the common spelling in the UK. Grey water systems are also sometimes referred to as laundry to landscape. Much of the wastewater generated from inside our homes is relatively clean water containing only trace amounts of soap and dirt. In many jurisdictions, this water can be beneficially reused to water plants and trees in our yards. This conserves water and reduces the amount of wastewater that is sent to treatment plants and then to the ocean. What is grey water? Grey water is untreated wastewater that has not been contaminated by any toilet discharge. Grey water includes wastewater from bathtubs, showers, bathroom sinks, clothes washing machines and laundry sinks.
Oh, this is what e-girls sell to lonely people, and then people die from it. Right. Okay. Yeah, you can make money from this. Like, why waste it?
In most jurisdictions, the official definition of grey water excludes wastewater from kitchen sinks, dishwashers, photo lab sinks or laundry water from soiled diapers. What is a grey water system? Grey water systems are on-site wastewater systems that use grey water for subsurface landscape irrigation through the use of mulch basins, disposal trenches or subsurface drip irrigation fields. There are basically two types of grey water systems: gravity-fed manual systems and package systems. The manual systems do not require electricity or pumps because they work on gravity, taking the grey water to the area needed. They may require a larger yard area to install the system outside. Packaged systems require electricity but are self-contained.
Well, okay, yeah. So we look at the whole system here. You know, we got my boy here slapping out. Does anyone have old showers like that? I wonder. Like classic showers like that. And he's wearing a loofah too. I wonder if I should get a loofah. I really want a brush like that. But look at that. My boy's using the water, washing up the tits and bits of it, and like, look at that. You know, he's using the faucet and the washer is in the house all in one and stuff like that. We got a three-way valve. Some of it going to some of the poo, and then some of it's going over to the sewage tank. And then we got his partner out here probably chilling up. We got the nice owl going, stuff like that, with the feeding of the apple tree and stuff. We got subsurface emitters. This is what I was talking about. Bitch up in there. I like it. I like you a lot. Sorry, let me just get right back up to it.
Grey water. The manual systems do not require electricity or pumps because they work on gravity, taking the grey water to the area needed. They may require a larger yard area to install the system outside. Packaged systems require electricity but are self-contained and can be installed indoors. With each option, codes and local ordinances should be considered. Grey water reuse increases our drinking water supply, decreases water and wastewater utility bills, and reduces the burden on wastewater treatment facilities. In concert with water-wise landscaping, rainwater harvesting, and conservation, using grey water as a resource helps reduce dependency on imported water and protects the urban watershed and the ocean. General precautions are not to use any detergents or bleaches in your sink, bath and laundry that may ultimately be harmful to plants. To further ensure safety, grey water cannot be used on the edible portions of vegetables and must be used for subsurface irrigation in order to reduce human contact or ponding. You generally cannot store grey water, only divert the amount needed to water your garden, permitting. In 2015, the National Academy of Sciences released a draft pre-publication copy of a report using grey water and stormwater to enhance local water supplies, an assessment of risks, costs, and benefits. That report is summarized and discussed in this article, which states, grey water reuse is not a new strategy, but for many years plumbing codes required grey water to be combined with black water, wastewater from toilets, and treated through the same system as sewage. In the past decade, however, many states have revised their laws, reflecting the growing interest in grey water reuse. As of 2014, 26 states allowed some form of grey water reuse. Simply reusing grey water to flush toilets can reduce home indoor water use by 24%, on average. Using treated grey water to meet water demand for toilet flushing and laundry has the potential to reduce demand by nearly 36%. Grey water reuse in new multi-residential buildings offers clear economies of scale, but we need more data on the cost of such systems. Permitting requirements to install or operate a grey water irrigation system vary by jurisdiction, so consult your local state, county, city before proceeding. Here are links to a few state, county and city websites that have information on grey water systems.
A lot of states. Okay, cool. Summary state regulation, additional references, grey water systems, and also household water reuse. Look at this. I like this stuff. Additional alternative water, atmospheric water generation. What the fuck is that? Okay, before we go, let's get right to it here. All right, add that. Boom. Okay, can we like calm it down with the font? With the fucking font here. Oh God. Wait, no. I just want I want y'all to chill. Can we like chill? Bam. All right, yeah. Cool. All right, everyone's cool. What are you? Okay, hold up. Get everybody back to a nice 12. All right, and then take that nice Bakersfield. This is the best font here, ladies and people and gentlemen and students and envies. All right, so look at that. Yeah, we got grey water systems. I didn't even hear about this. I never heard about this. And first of all, I never heard of Beachopedia. That's kind of dope. When we talk about water, there's going to be so many other different systems. Cool. And I'm skipping more because, I want to... the other stuff is pretty self-explanatory. Capture, condensation, yeah. But discharge water and water purification, foundation water, blow-down water, distillation water, but automatic water, atmospheric water generation. I'm kind of getting hot and heavy of that. What is that? Manufactured since 2001. Is this going to be complicated? Can I get the simple version of that? Yeah, there's no simple version of that. That's understood. Cooling, condensation. Fuck it. Let's see a YouTube video on it. solar and became water generation the solution of fresh water scarcity?
Hello, in this video we are going to talk about the atmospheric water generators or AWG, and in particular the ones that can be powered up by solar energy. These are machines that can capture water present in the air in the form of moisture. It should be understood that even in the driest of places, the humidity level is never zero, and hence some amount of water is present in the air. The atmospheric water generators have the ability to tap into that. We will cover very interesting and unique technologies that are helping to combat the growing water scarcity around the world. The energy source for running these generators can be electricity, heat, or even light wind.
Mm.
Water is the juice of life that is essential to our existence. Freshwater scarcity is growing day by day. We have seen cities like Karachi, Bangalore, Jakarta, Cairo, and Cape Town witnessing acute water shortage over the last decade.
Wow.
For now, water transportation has provided some relief, but within a decade, it is believed that 50% of the world's population will live in areas without access to clean, fresh, and safe drinking water.
Holy shit.
Interestingly, many of the water strained areas are coastal. This means that they have high humidity levels for most part of the year. For example, in Karachi, the annual average relative humidity level remains above 75%. In the last decade, researchers in atmospheric water generators have made significant
Couldn't handle
strides.
that.
We now have machines that are very efficient at producing water for a very little amount of energy input.
Okay, so let's see here. Moist air goes in. All right, goes through the tube. What is that? Is that refrigerated flow, ozone generator, pump. So like the water molecules come down in there, and it sends heat, and it evaporates, and it catches, and it pumps in water. Okay, so it speed runs the water flow process. Got it.
For example, there are some machines in the market that require only 310 watt-hour of electricity to create a liter of water. Meaning for 1 unit of electricity, we can get 3.22 liters of drinking water. This figure is for 60% relative humidity and 27 degrees centigrade. There are multiple advantages of using atmospheric water generators. For example, no transportation of water is needed, no plumbing infrastructure is required, and even the need of plastic bottles for carrying water is eliminated. And this technology has shrunk down to a level where it can fit into cars or boats very easily. And when linked with solar energy, the running costs are very low. The AWG differs from home dehumidifiers in that the AWG have additional features inside them to keep the water drinkable, which the home dehumidifiers don't have. These include mineralization and decontamination devices like UV light to eliminate pathogens. Contrary to the popular belief, people have been devising different apparatus for harnessing water present in the air for a very long time.
Okay, but like, real quick though, like, are we kind of like taking one problem and replacing it? Like, what if we like create contraptions? Like, I could imagine huge factories that just like big vacuums that just pull it out, and then like we're still fucking up the environment. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Better of two evils, I guess. I don't know.
For instance, the Incas were able to channel water from the condensed dew and were able to sustain themselves despite living above the rain line. Similarly, in France, wells can be found that are more than 100-year-old. And likewise, fog collectors called atrapaneables can be found in Chile. So let's now look at various technologies available to us for creating water out of air. The modern AWGs can be categorized into 4 types based on their technology. The first ones are the refrigerant or vapor compression based AWGs. The second one are Peltier effect based AWGs. The third one rely on thermal desiccation. And the fourth one are the hydrophilic condensation AWGs. The first two cooling condensation techniques, namely the refrigerant and Peltier, require electricity as an input. Although vapor absorption cycle can also be used, which would require heat as an input, but no such device can be readily bought. The fundamental idea of the first two techniques is the same, which is to cool the air below its dew point. The vapor in this air is deposited over surfaces and is collected. Most of
Mm.
the AWGs in the market make use of vapor compression for recovering water. The use of electricity allows a degree of control and consistency in the output. The Peltier effect based AWGs, on the other hand, are very low efficiency but are simple in design and do not require any maintenance, whereas vapor compression
Oh, that's
AWGs
pretty.
require replacement of compressors every now and then. It has to
Mm.
be mentioned here that even though there are several companies producing AWGs, only few of them have reached the level of 300 to 350 watt hour of energy per liter. One of them is Watergen. Its patented technology uses energy exchange very efficiently to maximize water condensation present in the air. They use an air to air heat exchanger between the incoming air and the outgoing air. The reason is that in such system, air is cooled below its dew point, so the byproduct of this process is cold air that leaves the system. If this cold air that has already shed its moisture content is allowed to exchange heat with the incoming air, then it pre-cools the incoming air. Therefore, by the time the moist inlet air reaches the very cold refrigerated core, it readily sheds the water and more air can be cycled through the system. This produces more water for the same amount of energy. As for the Peltier type AWGs, they are easy to design and
You got that? Because I'll be honest, I kind of didn't. Like, so okay, because I want to understand this. So because it takes the hot air, right, the humid air, and it cools it down, and then it right, it cools it down, and it condensates. And before it reaches like the cool temperature, it starts to sweat and pulls all the moisture out. Right? I could be very wrong. YouTube people, please put it in the comments on just like what I'm missing out here, please. I really want to know like what's going on here. Okay, let's get to the
and can be made at home. They do require thermoelectric generators, which are easily available from hardware and online
whoa.
stores. Similarly, the plans for making Peltier AWGs are available on the internet, even though they are not as powerful in generating water compared to their refrigeration
Oh, so
system
it cools it.
counterparts. They nonetheless are easy enough to produce and install, particularly in disaster struck areas. Note that solar panels can be used to make the above mentioned AWGs completely grid independent and therefore can be installed in any location. And most manufacturers selling these types of AWGs also sell them with solar options. The third type of atmospheric water generator is the thermal desiccant system. The advantage with them is that instead of converting sun's energy to electricity, it can efficiently use heat produced by the sunlight to achieve the process of extracting water from air. Only a
Hmm.
small amount of electricity is required to run a fan to circulate the air. The second advantage is that the yield for this system is higher because hot air can hold much more water than cold air. This system requires a three-step process.
Oh
First,
shit.
air is blown through a container that has silica gel beads during the night. The beads soak up the moisture from the air. Note that relative humidity is higher at nighttime. During the daytime, the solar collector heats up the air. This hot air is passed through the water-rich silica gel beads. As the beads get hot, they release the moisture content, which is picked up by the hot air. Now, it is much easier to condense hot air carrying large amount of water compared to air at normal temperature. This is because hot humid air can be condensed even at normal ambient temperature. As the hot air interacts with membrane at ambient temperature, its vapor condenses which is then collected. It is claimed that such a
Mm.
system will produce water at less than 5 cents per liter and even cheaper if it's operated at a large scale utilizing waste heat. The final type of atmospheric water generator requires the use of nanotechnology
Ah.
and was inspired by the Namib desert beetle that lives in one of the most arid regions in the world and is able to survive by accumulating water from the air and fog. It
Oh,
does this
shit.
through the use of hydrophilic and hydrophobic surfaces in tandem. The hydrophilic surfaces attract water from the air, while the hydrophobic surface channels that water to one place by using the action of gravity. A large water droplet is
Ooh.
formed, which then drops due to its own weight. Surfaces based on similar principle have been designed by scientists from MIT. By creating these graduated surfaces, scientists have invented something that not only collects water but is able to help in a variety of applications, including DNA screening, microfluidic devices, and as a self decontaminating surface that could channel and collect harmful substances. The device consists of a fence-like mesh panel with both hydrophilic and hydrophobic surfaces, which attracts droplets connected to the receptacles into which the water drips. This is the cheapest way of harnessing water from the atmosphere so far. So, these were the four technologies by which we can extract water from air. Till now, the approach has been to look at water transportation, purification, or desalination before considering the use of AWGs. With
Mm.
more companies and more devices based on novel techniques coming into the market, the cost of atmospheric water generators is coming down while their effectiveness is improving. We hope their use would extend as it not only gives autonomy of water supply, which is every human's fundamental right, but will also help in reducing the menace of plastic waste. And with this, the video is concluded. If you learned something from the video, please do give it a thumbs up. Thank
Hell yeah. Synergy files. This is very informative. Thank you. It helps choose which one informs the DIY system. Yeah, this is dope. This is really dope. That's really cool. I never I never thought of these technologies. I never knew any of these technologies really existed. Oh man, that's really cool. With distillation and atmospheric water generation, you give it a little bit of thought, and I think you could think of something like that, but to see it actually as a process and see it actually work, that's dope. That's really cool. That is really, 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 really cool. Okay, so yeah, that goes to show on how important water is. Speaking of water, I'm gonna go get myself some water, and yeah, and I'm going to go relieve some water myself. All right, BRB. Huh.
How long have I had that on? Oh my god, I hope I haven't. Hold up. I gotta make sure, students. All right, hold up. Let me stop the recording and then bring it back here. Hello? Hello, students. All right. I'm back from pissing. Sorry about the audio change there. All right. We're just going to end this off on a nice little high note here, but let's continue. All right. We learned a lot about we did. We've been learning a lot about water and how to save it. All right. Cheers to that. We just got done like how important water is. This is a whole new style of episode now, I guess. That's how we're going to do it. Oh boy. Can't have anything nice. No, I just gotta be better managed on it. I don't have, you know what it is? I don't have a sticker. Because like right now, like my setup is, I have like setups with stickers and stuff like that. And I didn't put a sticker on the anonymous part.
That's what happened.
It's okay. Now we're going to be doing this. It's okay. Whatevs. So, the word document. Let's get right back to it here, ladies and gentlemen. So, now, what have others done to cause it? I am immediately prosecuting, first of all, capitalism, but the bottled water industry. Bottled water industry was valued at 1.8 billion in 2015. Is expected to reach 334 billion in 2023, registering 8.5 SRG during the forecast period. The demand of bottled water has been growing during the last decade owing to health and wellness concerns. Why the fuck are we selling it? Why are we selling bottled water? That is so stupid. All right, here, let's go ahead. The Fresh Outlook Foundation. More people are hitting the bottle. The Fresh Outlooks Foundation.
More people are hitting the bottle. On the label there's an image of a mountain glacier, snow-capped mountains, or perhaps a pristine mountain lake. The label may also contain words like clear, refreshing, healthy, pure, and natural. When you combine these images with aggressive marketing campaigns that promote the benefits of drinking their products, it's little wonder the bottled water industry is seeing phenomenal worldwide growth. But is it really better to drink bottled water than tap water? And, for that matter, are you really getting anything different? This topic not only shows changes in consumer preferences, but is also an indication of the public's increasing mistrust of local water distribution systems. Well-publicized contaminated water occurrences have caused the public to question the safety of local water supplies. The general feeling among many people is that the water coming out of their tap is not safe to drink. This feeling is reinforced by advertisements portraying bottled water consumption as the way to avoid possible contamination from pathogens, chemicals, and other nasty constituents that tap water may contain. However, the ads do not tell you that in some cases, the bottled water you are drinking may actually come out of the same type of municipal water supply you are trying to avoid. In fact, some US municipalities have actually considered entering the market themselves, by selling water bottled straight from their taps. In many parts of the world, people do not have access to a water distribution system, particularly the poorest people. In these instances they often have no choice but to purchase bottled water at prices that are often excessively high. However, in industrialized countries people generally have access to clean and inexpensive water, but many still prefer to drink the bottled variety. You can buy 1,000
Stupid.
liters of tap water for much less than the price of 1 liter of some bottled waters, yet people are willing to pay the price because they believe bottled water is safer than tap water. According to Health Canada information, this belief is not supported by facts. People believe bottled water to be more pure and natural than tap water, yet some bottled water resembles a manufactured product more than something natural. Many people say they prefer the taste of bottled water since it lacks the chlorine taste commonly found in tap water. It's interesting to note that a study done in New York found that in blind taste tests, the majority of people favored New York City municipal water when compared to several leading brands of bottled water. Health-conscious people are also choosing bottled water over other beverages such as soft drinks, which also contributes to the increase in sales. Bottled water sales are increasing every year as more people choose bottled over tap water. The business of selling water. The worldwide consumption of bottled water is increasing every year, a growth higher than any other beverage group. Billions of liters of bottled water are sold each year, worth billions of dollars. The Canadian bottled water industry is also expanding rapidly, showing a steady rate of growth. The number of bottling plants is increasing as is employment in the industry. Of the more than 100 brands of bottled water available in Canada, 80% are from local suppliers. Most of the plants are located in Quebec, Ontario and BC. Due to the availability of Canada's water resources, the international beverage industry sees Canada as an attractive place to set up manufacturing and distribution operations. This has caused an increase in mergers and acquisitions. The large soft drink companies have entered the bottled water business as well, and are using their huge distribution networks to market their water products worldwide. With the growth of the Canadian bottled water industry, the country has become a net exporter of water products. Most of the bottled water produced in Canada is exported, worth hundreds of millions of dollars. The US is Canada's largest market and US exports comprise most of Canada's total bottled water production. In fact, Canada supplies a significant percentage of the US bottled water imports. The bottled water industry is indeed big business and is increasingly becoming dominated by large international corporations. They are all selling basically the same colorless, tasteless, and odorless product, so the only way to distinguish theirs from that of their competitors is packaging and promotion. Unique bottles and attractive labels can prompt consumers to choose one brand over another. However, it is the advertising campaigns that can really make the difference. Some companies spend large amounts of money on promotion. In fact, 10 to 15% of the cost of a bottle of water may go to pay for promotion. In essence, what they are selling is the perception that bottled water is pure and healthy, and drinking it will make you feel good. Many people choose bottled water for its perceived health benefits. However, drinking bottled water may be harmful. Health issues. Many people believe drinking bottled water will actually improve their health. There is no question that drinking water is better than drinking many other beverages. However, is bottled water really better than tap water? Natural mineral waters contain a high concentration of minerals. These waters have been consumed for centuries and some believe they have medicinal properties. According to the World Health Organization, there is no evidence to support this belief. Excess consumption of water with high mineral contents may in fact be harmful to human health. The bottling companies push the idea that their products are healthier than tap water, and possess higher nutritive values. However, according to the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, the nutritive value of bottled water is no different than that of tap water. Bottled products do not have the magical qualities the bottlers would like us to believe they have. This does not stop producers from coming up with new ways to sell the idea. One water product is marketed specifically to pregnant women. Another promotes the idea that drinking it will help people lose weight, and yet another is promoted as an aphrodisiac. There is even a product produced specifically for pets. International standards help to ensure that bottled water products are safe. However, local bottlers may not necessarily follow them and instances of contamination and illnesses have occurred. Health Canada recommends that you drink only carbonated or disinfected bottled water when traveling to other countries. Generally, bottled water sold in Canada has been found to be safe in terms of pathogens and chemicals. The occurrence of illnesses caused by the consumption of bottled water in Canada is rare. Bottled water products are considered food items in Canada, and as such, domestic and imported products are monitored by the Canadian Food.
I want to skip past and get into the environmental impact.
Environmental impacts. Although water extraction for bottling purposes represents a small percentage of the total amount taken for all uses, it is still significant. Of the hundreds of billions of liters of bottled water consumed every year worldwide, 25% are exported. As was previously mentioned, Canada exports a significant percent of its bottled water production, which amounts to hundreds of millions of liters each year. Basically, Canada is exporting its water resources. Water export is a very controversial issue for many Canadians, and there are strong arguments being made on either side. Many people are concerned that removing large amounts of water from our aquifers or surface water bodies for export would ultimately lower water tables, thus placing stress on the local environments. The biggest environmental impact of the industry is the bottles themselves. Most of them are made from some form of plastic, usually PET or PVC. Plastics are of course made from petroleum products, a non-renewable resource. The water bottling industry requires a large number of bottles to meet its needs. In fact, it takes more than 1.5 million tons of plastic to manufacture the needed containers. The plastics industry can release toxic contaminants into the air and water, therefore, environmental and human health impacts can be significant. Although plastic water bottles can be recycled, many of them end up in the landfills. In the US, only 22% of PET bottles were recycled in 1997. The addition of millions of tons of slowly decomposing plastic bottles to our landfills is causing them to fill up rapidly. As the plastic slowly breaks down over hundreds of years, toxic chemicals are released which can cause groundwater contamination. In essence, the bottled water industry is poisoning the very resource upon which it relies. An additional source of waste is the extra packaging that is used to ship bottles, most of which also ends up in the landfills. The delivery of tap water is much less energy intensive. The water is pumped through underground pipes and is delivered directly to the tap of the consumer. The same cannot be said for bottled water. It must be transported from the bottling plant to the consumer. In some cases it must also be transported from the source to the bottling plant. This requires vehicles that burn a great amount of fossil fuels, resulting in the associated problems such as pollution and climate change. Choosing tap water over bottled water is more environmentally friendly, and many people prefer the taste from the tap. Conclusions: in cases where people have no access to a safe water system, or their water system does not supply high-quality water, bottled water may be an alternative. It may also be necessary to drink it when traveling to countries that have questionable tap water, assuming you have confidence in the safety of the bottled water. Therefore, bottled water can meet certain needs. However, the presumption that it's healthier and safer to drink than tap water does not seem to be the case in most situations, particularly in Canada. It also seems that in many cases, people do not even prefer the taste to that of tap water. If you chose not to drink the water directly from your tap, you may want to consider installing additional treatment devices in your home or place of business to avoid buying bottles. At least that way, you are not contributing to the problems associated with water bottles. If you still choose to drink bottled water, read the label carefully and know what you are buying. For example, by purchasing water from local sources, you are helping to decrease the environmental costs associated with transporting products large distances. The negative environmental impacts of the bottling industry are significant compared to the delivery of water through a community system. The environmental costs are simply too high to ignore. Perhaps if the money spent on bottled water was put into the upgrading and monitoring of existing municipal water systems, and the construction of new facilities, there would be no need for anyone to look elsewhere for drinking water. Consumers would save a lot of money, and the environmental impacts would be greatly decreased.
Hey, there you go. We can go right. We could be able to do that for people. And what was it? I mean, that's kind of, I would say that's like kind of the main component. Of course, besides it being capitalism. But let's see here. Overexploitation, water pollution, modification, destruction, and degradation of habitats, and invasion of exotic species. And like that all probably is led by the bottled water industry, big water. Industry. And like granted, I'll admit, drinking right from the faucet is a little bit weird. Weird, but when it comes from a hose, I don't know why. There's a little bit of a I don't know. I'm a hypocrite on that end. But like what was it? I have like a little bit of I have like a container that like slightly filters out the water and stuff. That's probably that's probably as far as I'll go on like something with that. But beyond that, like you don't really need much onto that. Now, of course, we have what was it we have? We have 10 minutes left before we got it. All right. There has been multiple solutions that people have been showing out for it already. And I think there's something that we can do with it. So, conclusion, we shouldn't / don't need to replace fresh water. Okay, either it'll be too expensive to replace it, or what was it? The access to it is too far away. We can get it. Okay, but how do we get it? I think there's many ways to do it, and I think let's copy what was it? the beetle, the hydro, what was it? The hydrophobic outfit and stuff like that. Basically, wetsuits, right? I'm talking about it captures the water, almost like kind of like what was it, the poo suit, where it filters out your poo. But basically, you just like we all wear clothing where it captures that, and then we put it in like almost like a laundry. Yeah, we can put it in a laundry that takes out the water from it. All right, captures the water. Ooh, that'd be cool too. Like, something with the gray water and stuff like that. A what was it? Laundry that captures water and filters it. Like, why can't my washer be a washer slash water cooler? Huh? Or dishwasher slash water cooler. All right. I think like why not two birds, one stone this whole thing, right? Why not add some fashion to the fabrics that capture water? Why not add that filter to the laundry, and then I can just have a little bit of some laundry juice. That's not too bad. I would totally go for it. I think we can totally do that. I think we can totally have fun with it. Let's see what else. What else would be a good idea? So we got wetsuit, we got laundry. No, laundry that like captures water. Laundry slash dishwasher. Dishwasher filters. Filters water. What was it? Yeah, no, that's all. That's about all I got. I think that's the best we can do with what we have here. I think there's a lot to be said here. I think that that's one thing that we got going on here. Now, let's see here. I think we learned a lot about water today. Sorry, I got frustrated there. All the people live, you missed it. Fucked up the audio and stuff like that. But besides that, no matter what, I think we got some valuable information out. I think there was a lot to be learned about water. I hope you all learned something. It's just something that's like, it's this thing that keeps us alive. It pushes environments out, and it's all accessible. It's accessible. Like, that's the frustrating thing. It's like you yourself can make homemade contraptions that hold on to water. And it's just like, why don't we do that? Why don't like apartment complexes like actually do that? Like capture up rainwater and just have a communal water tower. Why not? Why? Because it's weird? What do you mean? Is it because we live in an elitist society where we're too scared to drink our own tap water? Well, first off, of course, besides places like Flint and stuff, that's a whole different problem. People should have it. And so the people that do have it, they need to work out more advantages to utilize it. Of course, we poke fun at it with the laundry and stuff, but there are stuff like that can be easily implemented. And the fact that like as a society, it's like, you're fucking telling me that there could be there's someone out there starving and dehydrated, and I'm complaining about doing the dishes, so I got a machine to do it for me. Fuck that. That's wild. It's just be conservative about your water. But hey, turns out there's so many like cheap options too, and that's the hope that we're gonna hold on to. We got the atmospheric water generation, gray water system, desalinated water, and of course these are getting cheaper and cheaper every day to make. These are becoming more and more apparent, and you can do the research and support it and spread the word about it on just like these alternatives. You could do this at home. You can look into gray water systems for your place. Support desalinated water places that help for that, and make your own atmospheric water generators. You can do this. It's easy, and that's some of the more machine stuff. You can do other things with just capturing rainwater, and of course, this is gathering water. Everyone that just conserve water, use it for drinking. Into the stats of using machines and stuff like that, I actually don't know. Maybe take that shorter shower. If you're using it for therapy, how about just doing a slight meditation or something like that? Maybe that. But hey, that is what we get done here learning here today. All right, I'm going to stop the recording so you YouTube people, you get the hell up out of here. All right, we're going to go play some Disco Elysium and hang out and have a good time. All right, but that is going to be it for this subject for today. I'll actually see you all tomorrow. I don't know what subject we're going to be hitting on, but it'll probably be pretty interesting. Who knows? We might continue more onto this, or more just like how to conserve other parts, not be wasteful. Probably look into food industry. Ooh, maybe. I don't know, something specific. Yeah, like free food. Yeah, specifically free food. I don't know. We'll look into that. I think that sounds pretty interesting. All right, y'all. Hey, my name's Professor Void, and I'm gonna get the hell out of here. All right, you Twitch people, you hang around for a bit. I'm gonna get this game started. And you YouTube people, have a good time. Like, comment, and subscribe. All right? You guys have a good one.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.